Like this guy comes and like he returns like this $20,000 camera, and I'm like, whoa, like. I'm like, yo, like, you know how many hours at B&H I gotta put in?
Yeah, 30 years. You gotta put in 30 years for that.
Yeah, that guy just got the, yeah. So I'm like, oh God. So like I call my manager or whatever. He deals with it. And then like afterwards, I just like look up in the system like how much that guy spent. I forgot what the date range was. It doesn't even matter because it was so much money. It was either like 5 or 6 years or something. But like over that span, he spent $6 million.
$6 million?
Yeah.
In just one store?
In just B&H.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 247, and this week I bring to you another special guest. Welcome to the podcast, Adir. I didn't want to put the last name in there.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you probably just don't know how to pronounce it.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
How you say it?
You want to guess, or should I just say it?
Landese.
It's like Buc-ee's, but like land.
Yeah.
Ease.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like Andes mints.
Honestly, I don't think I ever had those, and I've never been to a Buc-ee's, but like, I could use both of them to like tell people my name, you know, like that works.
But for people who are not familiar with you, how about you introduce yourself?
I'm Adir. I work at West NYC and Tiptop Shoes, both on the Upper West Side, both on the 72nd Street, both between Columbus and Broadway / Amsterdam. So, yeah, I mean, it's 3 stores right next to each other, Tiptop Kids, and then West. Tiptop is really like the full family neighborhood staple. Been there since 1940, so 85 years this year.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there for 85.
I mean, yeah.
If I did, I'm looking great, you know?
Yeah. If you did, you'd be like, yo, what is the skin regimen?
I'm Benjamin Button of the store, right? I'm the guy that founded it, and I'm just getting younger. But no, so there's that. West is like our sneaker boutique offshoot, a few doors over. That's where we get to do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And get to carry certain brands that otherwise we wouldn't have entree to, and there's a fun apparel piece associated, connected with it, so that's real cool. And I kind of get to like put together or shape a lot of how that looks and, you know, comes together. And I mean, I've got a great team of people that I work with on that. And overall, yeah, I mean, I've been doing this been at the store for almost 5 years now, and even though it's been almost 5 years, I'm probably like one of the most recent hires. So,
yeah.
So that's the kind of store that's the kind of store we are, you know, like we got people that have been with us for 30 plus years, and some people it's a family owned and operated store. So obviously some people that have been in it since birth. So yeah.
Are you part of the family?
I'm not part of the family. No, I'm not.
How'd you get in then?
All right. So pretty much, do you want like the backstory? Like, how big of a backstory do you want?
Whatever you want to share.
We got time. I could waste all your time if you want.
You're not gonna waste.
We can start. I was born Mount Sinai Hospital.
Shout out Mount Sinai, man. Shout out. I used to spend so much time at Mount Sinai.
Okay,
because my godmother worked there.
Okay,
and so whenever I was like, because I used to live in the Upper East Side because my mom worked at New York's Presbyterian.
We're in the Upper East Side.
Like on 70th, like right next to the hospital.
Okay, yeah.
And so my godmother would watch me from time to time because she used to live on 90th, and rest in peace. And so she because she worked at Mount Sinai, and they gave her an apartment on 90th. So I spent a lot of time just like because she like ran. I forgot what department she ran in Mount Sinai, but yeah, I was there all the time. So I spent more time there than you did.
Yeah. I mean, I was only there for the day. I was only there for like the day, you know, maybe half a day. I don't know. I don't remember, but you might have been there November 1st, 99. We might have crossed paths, you know?
Oh, actually possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
The day I was born, you were there. So, and now we're back.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Full circle moment.
We're in some basement somewhere for shooting a podcast.
My friend's basement.
Yeah.
My friend's basement. No, but yeah.
I got started, you know, with birth. You know, my first pair of shoes was
Wait, if you're gonna jump into that, I gotta ask you a question then.
No, but that's not the first pair that like changed anything. That just happens to be like what I was wearing at the time.
Okay.
But it was Jordan 13s.
Woo!
I don't remember that. I was baby. But yeah, pretty
You were a
much.
baby with Jordan 13s?
Yeah, so here's that's why I wanted to like say like what kind of backstory, because
That's
like
crazy.
because like I don't know, with shoes, like I kind of like I started really really young. Pretty much my mom worked in like on Wall Street. She was like an analyst, so she had to like, you know, give her judgment on how stocks were doing and like what's the forecast and all that. But like her main stocks were Nike. She was like the
Oh, wow.
longest standing analyst to cover Nike.
Yeah.
So like she was heavily like she was very tapped in there, and she kind of like used us as like a barometer for how the stock would do.
Yeah.
Like pretty much like how interested her kids were in the brand. And like I don't know, sometimes that was effective, I guess. So like she kind of like nurtured us to be like really into sneakers. I guess just like really into consumerism, which I guess isn't the best thing to teach your kids, but it helped her out, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
She was just like, nah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so into this that I'm putting my kids through this too.
Totally. And like she used to go to the mall with us and like shop and like kind of just like, you know, pretty much be taking notes a little bit, like mentally, like, oh, what are we into? What are we interested in? And so that was kind of cool, because like she'd go to Beaverton twice a year and like get to shop at the employee store. And you know, like that's why I like those shoes. Like we always kind of like had entree to like to Nikes at a good price, you know, through that, which was cool. Which like all like the pictures of me as a kid, I'm like wearing like dope Nikes, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
And then it kind of just naturally happened. Like, you know, my brother was super into this stuff, and I was the youngest. So anything your older siblings do, like you trying to fit in. You're trying to fit in, and then like eventually you end up realizing that you did it better than them.
Oh,
which
okay.
Is kind of cool, you know. Yeah, shout out to Matt. I did shoes better than you.
Hey, he's gonna see this and be like, what?
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, he, you know, like with that, so she had a lot of friends in the industry and all that. Friends to this day that like some of them I still know. And you would have thought like that's what brought me to Tiptop or anything. It's what started me in the industry. It had nothing to do with me ending up where I like at Tiptop specifically, which is kind of funny. That was like far more just like random.
Did you picked up like a job?
So yeah, so my first job in sneakers, I mean, I was like really into drawing shoes. I mean, we'll talk about that later, I guess. But in high school, like she got me a gig designing shoes at Fila.
That's crazy.
Which was kind of cool. Like my brother also worked there in high school. Like we both interned there. So that was kind of like a rite of passage for me.
So you're the reason why the Fila disruptor.
No, but it did coincide with that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Cause like I saw it happening like in live time.
Yeah.
And like I was like a sneakerhead, and I'm like I don't know, maybe like down the line that's like kind of like shaped me a little bit to be like more into like, you know, from like a numbers point of view, being like, oh, like what shoes like can we sell, you know, versus like what shoes like am I like profoundly attached to. Because yeah, like at Tiptop versus West, obviously I'm playing at both of those, you know. But yeah, so I saw that happen in real time, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like it was nuts. Like they were just doing so many of them. I remember like seeing like a pair of like Barney's snakeskin ones, and like just like they only made like 200 of them, and then like I'm like, these are like Fila disruptors made out of like genuine snakeskin. I'm like, this is crazy.
I gotta
like
see a picture.
Yeah,
of those.
no, I don't even know if they
crazy.
ever like hit like anything, because like I remember like
so
I was talking to the CEO at the time. He was showing me this guy John Epstein, rest in peace, and he's a really cool dude. He was like one of the greats, and he was like telling me, he's like, yeah, or like these cost like over $200 a pair just to make. Like I was like, yeah, because they're like,
oh my god,
they were doing all snakeskin, but the fact that like they got to the point where they had to, or there was a need for like snakeskin disruptors, like in my mind that's like so crazy.
Yeah,
you know, like
that sounds so crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like,
and they were because
that's like Rick and Morty, like other world, you know, like oh yeah, this is like dystopian universe future stuff where it's like, oh yeah, no, this they need Fila disruptors in like full snakeskin, like genuine snakeskin, not even fake snakeskin. Like it has to be real, you know?
Yo,
Like,
that's so crazy. Yeah. The fact that they had to be real snakeskin was
like,
just insane. And it's also the demand. The crazy thing was the demand was so high that it can warrant a crazy thing like that.
Yeah, that's like insane.
Yeah.
And also like now there's no Barneys.
Mm-hmm.
Now Fila's kind of gone for the time being. So like whatever. It was like totally like as if it didn't even happen, kind of, you know, like it's just like a thing of the past. But yeah, so I was doing that, and then college pretty much I wanted to work there again, but John Epstein, who I mentioned, the CEO of Fila, he passed away before I started college. And then like the new guard kind of like had like this they had a rule that they didn't want to have repeat interns. So I was kind of like out of luck in terms of that. And you know, like New York, there's not like a ton of sneaker brands or anything in New York, right? And then to make matters like even worse, like COVID hit. So like now there's like way less jobs and all that stuff out there for a college kid. And I being like, you know, sitting there in class for the first semester of COVID being like, this is not how I don't want to be in class on Zoom. This just doesn't make sense.
Where'd you go?
I was at NYU.
Damn.
I was in on the Brooklyn campus, the engineering school.
I'm saying damn because you're paying NYU prices.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
In the house.
Yeah, I'm like I'm taking a year. So I took a leave of absence, right? And I'm like, all right, this is gonna be great. I'll get a job, which like in my mind, like I don't know, it probably was smart, but I was also like, I didn't realize like there were no jobs out there.
Everybody's in the house.
I'm like, this would be cool. I'll get a job. It's COVID, like whatever. I don't have to go to class. And then like, no, there's just no like that wasn't a thing. So pretty much,
would you tell your mom? Like,
my mom thought it was a good idea.
Yeah?
She was like, she didn't want me to like go to school if it's online. I'm not really getting the like most out of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you're not doing
like she understood it. But yeah, so then eventually what I did was like I got a job at B&H, the camera store.
Shout out B&H.
Yeah. Which is why like I'm really tapped in with the gear that's here. You know, I totally knew what camera we were shooting with, even though totally. Yeah.
No, I mean, B&H is, I don't know, to me, every time I've been in there, because like I was at one point really wanted to really get into photography. So I went in there. And I'm always, for some reason, in all my iterations of my life, I've been friends with photographers. Like I'm friends with Jordan, like. But when I was in college, I was friends with a couple photographers, and they were like, "Yo, we gotta go B&H." So they got me to be really there, and I'm like, "This place is hectic, man.
It's like Nike Town, but for cameras, and it's closed on Saturdays because like it's Jewish. Like it's the place doesn't make sense, but like they do so much business, like that, and they got the whole conveyor belt system.
That blew my mind.
So my first day, like I get there, I'm like, great, I have a job. They're like, all right, so this is what you're gonna do. Like the thing's gonna come off the conveyor belt. You're gonna take the box, like the basket, right? You take the basket, you put the basket back on the conveyor belt, and then you take like the object out of the basket. You put it on your table. You scan the receipt, and you scan the barcode on the actual item, and you put it in a bag and put it on a hook. Come back, do that again the whole day.
The whole day.
I was like, yo, like
I'd be like, no, hell no, man.
No, but like I needed a job at the time because like I had nothing else to do. Otherwise, I'm just at home, like living with my mom. You know, I'm like, I need to do something. I swear, like that first day, I felt like I aged like 20 years. I was like, I got off of work. I was like, damn, like,
and you're like, because it's nothing but it's a ton of older gentlemen.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
The guy that taught me how to take the things off the conveyor belt and put them back on the conveyor belt. He's like, yeah, I've been here for 30 years, man. I was like, geez.
His name was definitely like Ishmael or something.
Something.
Like that, you know?
I was just like, yo, like after like, I'm gonna be like putting stuff on and off a conveyor belt for 30 years, like, yeah,
that's crazy. There's no way, especially in this economy, there's no way that's sustainable to be there for 30 years.
Yeah, I've got no clue how. Yeah.
Like he's like, oh yeah, I get my 5% raise every year. You're like, B&H pays that well. Like, you know, 30 years later, he's like, yeah, I got a house in Middle Village. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
That place was like, and it was like you gotta know what you want. And then it's kind of like, all right, if this person doesn't sound like, then you get the little bit of salesmanship, because like sometimes people on the floor really do sell you.
Oh yeah.
But I remember seeing it, like, because like it became, B&H became so big that it became a tourist destination.
Oh, totally.
And so people were in there, and I'm like, yeah, people come to New York loaded. Apparently, they'll come, go to Times Square, and then go to B&H to cop a DSLR. And I'm like, you're spending $1,500 on a vacation camera. Why?
It's nuts. It's crazy. But like, so yeah, they do a ton of tourist business, but like the professional business is where they crush it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cause like, so eventually, like, I only, like, thankfully, like, only for a few, like, maybe like a couple of weeks or whatever, I was doing the basket carousel thing. And then afterwards, like, they got me to like do like the buy online, pick up in store. So I'd be the guy at the counter that you'd pick it up from. There was a ton of us, and like I was one of them. They liked me. Eventually, I got promoted to like customer service, which is just doing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like all the angry people would come to me, which is great.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about that is I got to look up like how much people spent in the past like few years. And like, so this was like 2021. Yeah. And like I saw this, like this guy comes and like he returns like this $20,000 camera. And I'm like, whoa, like, I'm like, yo, like, you know how many hours at B&H I got to put in?
Yeah, 30 years. You got to put in 30 years for that.
Yeah, that guy just got the, yeah. So I'm like, oh God. So like I call my manager or whatever. He deals with it. And then like afterwards, I just like look up in the system like how much that guy spent. I forgot what the date range was. It doesn't even matter because it was so much money. It was either like 5 or 6 years or something. But like over that span, he spent $6 million.
$6 million?
Yeah.
In just one store?
In just B&H. You could see it in the system.
Who the fuck was he?
I don't know. I think he was like making music videos or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Hype
like,
Williams.
It
like,
could have been his guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been.
That is crazy. $6 million?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is crazy. And then you're just like, here, 20. I'm just returning this. Like,
yeah, here's
like,
a $20,000 credit.
That's crazy.
And the crazy thing is, like, he bought the camera, it just didn't work. Like, the camera just came defective. And like, imagine
I would have been upset.
You got a $20,000 camera and it came defective.
That's crazy.
Hope you've been enjoying this episode with Adir. And of course, you can help out the podcast by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment on this episode. Please sound off in the comments if you enjoyed something that Adir said, or enjoyed something that I said. It really goes a long way and helps get the episode into the algorithm. And of course, if you want to go the extra mile and help out the podcast by joining Patreon at patreon.com/myfirstkicks, you can get a shout out at the end of an episode, or you can also check out some additional content, much like last week's episode with Anwar, where I talk about the first time I interviewed him. That will be going on the Patreon. I will have the Portland trip up on the Patreon. I will also have this week's Detroit trip to Black Footwear Forum on the Patreon. So don't forget, patreon.com/myfirstkicks really, really, really goes a long way. Also, liking, subscribing, and leaving a review goes a very long way. But back to the episode.
So then how did that?
Oh yeah, so the shoes part of that.
Yeah.
The shoes. Yeah, back to the shoes. Right. So then it was gonna snow one day. And I honestly, like, I always wanted to kind of work at Tiptop and West, just because like I kind of knew their positioning within the industry and like figured that's like a great place to be. You get to interface with everyone. Like, I mean, when I say interface with everyone, I mean like you got exposure to like a huge cross section of brands.
Yeah.
Pretty much like anything that's like over $100 they carry between the two stores. So like, because of that, like there's no other stores that really do that. Like if they do, they're just comfort and they don't do the sneaker side of things.
Yeah.
Or if they do the sneaker side of things, they don't do like all the other brands. So like, and I knew like Tiptop like had not just that, but they also like had a great history with the brands that they carry. Like they're the oldest Birkenstock account, one of the oldest Timberland accounts. Like I think it's like the second oldest Timberland account. When I say oldest Birkenstock account, I mean in like North America.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of other brands they had like a very, very historied partnership with. So, and like I grew up 8 blocks away from it. So like I grew up kind of shopping there. So I always wanted to, but like I didn't really know like how I'd do it. I think in high school one time I like walked into West and I'm like, are y'all hiring? And it was like, nope, walked out. And like,
Like, all right, man, that's it. Shut down. That's it.
There it goes. But so yeah, it was gonna snow, and I actually passed by the Timberland store downtown. I knew I was gonna get a pair of Timberlands, but I was like, no, I'm not going to the Timberland store. I'm gonna go to Tiptop, and like I'll ask them, like while I'm there, I'll ask them if they're hiring. And like again, still COVID, like no one's really hiring. I go there, and like I knew who Lester was. Like he didn't know me or anything, but I buy my Timberlands from like some lady who at the time like I thought was just like someone's grandma or something. Like I'm like, this is such a unique sales experience. Like I thought that was kind of like super endearing. That person actually just passed away, unfortunately. Jackie.
Many condolences.
Yeah, got to work with her. But yeah, while I was checking out, like I see Lester at the register, and I'm like, hey, are you hiring? And he's like, not really. And I'm like, oh, are you sure? He's like, I mean, like, would you want to pack boxes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I got like Tuesdays are free because that was like my day off at B&H.
Yeah. Damn, you was picking up a second job.
Yeah. I was just like, just one day. I'm like, yeah, just something little, like one day a week or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like he was like, yeah, sure. Like here's my number. I was hyped. Like I was like, hell yeah. Like all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm really in this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm back in the footwear industry. Like, you know, like that's it. Like I'm packing boxes. The boxes could have like all different shoes in them, you know, like this is sick.
You're like, my foot is in the door.
Yeah. No, like I got this. This is like, this is it. Right. So then I wait for Lester's call the next day. Never calls. One day, another day passes. Don't really get the call. So I call him. He's like, oh, I thought I called you. I'm like, you didn't. He's like, oh, my bad. He's like, you start next Tuesday? I'm like, yeah, sure. So then pretty much, yeah, I start, and like I was doing the box thing. And yeah, I mean, like I kind of was like looking at that, seeing like how else can I add value?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I was also just talking to Lester a bunch about shoes, like during my like after work or whatever, like after people like in the office like clock out, you know, the store would still be open. So I talked to Lester and like see like what they could like try to figure out like where they're at, you know, like from a position point of view, and like, is there any way that like I could add value or like suggest some stuff that like could be right. And then on top of that, I was like, yo, why don't you guys ever like shoot any videos for Instagram or whatever? He's like, oh, well, we don't really like have anyone that does that. And I'm like, oh, like, well, we could try shooting a video. So like, just like on my iPhone, start shooting some videos with them. And like that kind of snowballed because like they liked the videos at the time, which was like cool. Like one of my like first videos, like the CEO of Birkenstock was into the video, and I was like, whoa. That's cool, but that's just because like he's like a friend of the store. But like as a dude packing boxes, I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah.
And you're like mad hype packing that box, like yo,
yeah. I was like,
that's right,
yeah. Like the tape gun, like I was crushing it, you know, like one after the other. Like I was just like waiting for the next box, you know, like, and I was listening to, unfortunately, it wasn't your podcast. I was listening to Complex Sneakers podcast.
Don't worry.
Whatever.
Mine wasn't, I mean, you know. Wait, no, I was out. So, yeah. But it's all good.
I was just getting started. On it now. You know? Yeah, I'm on it. You know? And I'll listen to this at work too. You know? Like, but I was like listening to that and I'm like, wow, I'm really like in this footwear shit. You know, like this is.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Like, yo, I'm really, because I remember when I first started working at GameStop and I was like, damn, I'm really about to get really into this gaming shit.
Yeah,
like,
you know, yeah.
I feel that ampness about it.
It's like you're just hyped, you know, you're standing there and it's like almost like you're not like, you're just so locked in, you don't like zoom out at all. You know, like you're like, don't realize you're just like packing boxes because like you're just like so amped up on the fact that you're like in a stock room, you know? Like,
right, yeah. You know, I mean, especially if you've been shopping there before, you're like, yo,
hell yeah.
I get to be in the back.
Yeah, and like Mike, the manager of West, walks in one day like to like get some boxes, and I'm like, he's like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm like, yo, I know you. Like, I've shopped at the store before. Like, yo, like you've been the manager since I was like a kid or whatever, you know, like kind of like starstruck seeing him outside of the store, you know. I hope he doesn't hear this. Yeah, I'll be like, oh shit, you said you were starstruck when you saw me. He's gonna clown on me for this. I might edit this out. Yeah.
If you don't know, and if you're watching this, Adir's gonna edit this episode.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna get the message on that Wednesday. Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry. Yeah, I know you need it today. My bad. But yeah, so then whatever so yeah, I was making the videos, all that, and then like I'm talking to Lester and Danny one day, Lester's father, who also passed away back in October.
Many condolences.
Yeah. But we were hanging and they're like, yo, we want to talk to you. They're like, so yeah, we like what you're doing with the videos and all that. Like we might have something for you like full time instead of like the 1 day a week thing. Like maybe you could be like more like, you know, like doing other stuff and like also take on like some like creative like direction kind of stuff and that. And I was like, yeah, that'd be sick. Like, hell yeah. Like, let's do that. So I had to like put in like 2 weeks at B&H. And I remember like I'm talking to my boss there. I'm like, yeah, like I got to put in my 2 weeks. I'm like going to work at a shoe store. He's like, oh, like a sneaker store? I'm like, no, like a comfort store. He's like, what? So they like sell like SAS and like Mephisto? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, and you'd rather work there over like where we're selling like Sony cameras and shit? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, I guess you could like go for it. He's like, I don't know why you'd ever do that, you know, like, but yeah, it's your choice, man.
Yeah.
You know, like,
this dude thought you were making like the worst decision of your life.
No, it's like, you're really gonna sell like ugly shoes, and I'm like, yeah, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
like the ugly shoes sell. Like there's stuff to do there, you know, like it could. Like ugly shoes is a great growth opportunity, man. Like here's what you don't get. Like
this dude is probably
he's wearing like cooked ugly shoes too. You know, I'm like, yo, like you're wearing ugly shoes. Like this is perfect. Like this will be perfect. Like how'd you wind up in your ugly shoes? You know, I'm gonna figure that out. Sell more ugly shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Find a way to sell like the most ugly shoes, and like it's gonna be perfect.
Yo,
like.
All I'm thinking is like, yo, we probably went back to the break room like, yeah, this guy's leaving to become Al Bundy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly it. Like, and like to be fair, like a lot of like our customers like would be like my grandparents or whatever, like if they were still alive, like they'd be shopping there. Like, you know, like there's plenty of like we're selling a lot of like extra wides and like, you know, I mean, I'd say like the footwear to like the shoe terms, but like you don't. I mean, maybe like, I don't know, like we carry like widths from like, you know, they're like, so like the width scale is like, it goes like A, B, C, D, C's like kind of like made up. Like, but like there's also like AAA and like that, like whatever. There's multiple A's. Like the A's.
I mean, none of this stuff goes into like sneakers. Like I wish it was. I wish it did, but you're kind of just well, like
New Balance does it.
Well, yeah. But like you're like, I mean, you're not gonna get Jordans with an extra wide.
No, you're not gonna get Jordans in a double Eddie.
Yeah, you know. So it's like
quadruple Eddie.
Yeah.
That's like a 4E. Yeah, that's like. I mean, you'll get them, and like I ordered a bunch of 4Es today. You know, like
people. There are people that need them.
There's people that need them.
There, because like for people who are. You know, you remember the foot thing, that Foot Locker? Like there was that other side where it would go to the left and right, and people were like, "Why is there?"
Oh, the Brannick device.
Yeah. I don't know the name, but
See, that's why you have me on.
Yes,
it's like
exactly.
I could, all the technical stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The Brannick device is the thing you step in where they measure your shoe size, right?
Yeah.
So like,
there's the side.
There's the
side
part.
There's
the side piece, and that goes out and in. So like, for example, like I kind of like I have like an unusual size. Like I measure like a 12. Like narrow, you know, like so like in Birkenstocks I'm a 45 narrow, which they only make like in a few colors. So like I can wear whatever shoe, like if I want to, just like in a 12, but like sometimes like if I ever like get a shoe that actually comes in a 12 narrow, I'm like always like, damn, this feels good. like it's surprising. Like I'm like,
you're like, this is true to form right here.
No,
this is
like,
real TTS right here.
Yeah, so like standing up straighter, and I'm like, whoa, like why did I get fly that time? Like, I could have been standing up straight. Like, you know?
Man. Before we go any further, let me hit you with the question that I ask everybody each week.
Okay, yeah,
And
let's
that
do
question
it.
is, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
Okay, so yeah, you ask it like what you needed to have. I'd say like there was a pair that I got that like
Uh-huh.
really like changed the game for me for
Okay.
sure. So back to like my mom knowing people in shoes, growing up, like one of the like we grew up like Orthodox, like modern Orthodox
Yeah.
Jewish. So like I like went to Jewish school, like had a dress code, all that. And like on Shabbat, like on Saturdays, I had to wear like a white shirt, black pants growing up. So like I was always kind of like the shoes kind of always could stand out no matter
Yeah.
what. So that was
There
a
was
big
no
part.
restrictions on shoes?
There's not really restrictions on shoes.
Okay.
On Saturdays there were generally, but like still it was a little bit more lax than like any of the other like head to toe pieces. So yeah, like my mom knew Mike Packer through work, right? So like I remember like growing up, like going to Packer with like my brother and like him being like, yeah, like you're like when I was like 5 years old or whatever, and him being like, yeah, you're like too young to like shop here, but like when you're older, you can shop here, all that. So it got to a point where like, yeah, I was older. I
Yeah.
could shop there.
Yeah.
I'm a 7.5 now.
Yeah.
That's an adult size. So I go there, right? And like my eyes are like wide. I'm like, whoa, like there's a kid in a candy store and then there's like a deer in a shoe store. You know?
Yeah.
but yeah. I look around and there's like LeBron 7 Dunkmans. And like
Crazy shoe. Love
yeah,
that shoe.
awesome shoe. Like to me, like that was like I was coming off like my brother really like he got me very into SBs at the time. And like it was clear like it was like SBs and then Nike basketball was the next wave, right?
Yeah.
So you got to remember, like at the time, I'm in 5th grade, so like it's still pretty young, like still very like, you know, shaping where I'm gonna become as like a consumer, as like a sneakerhead, that kind of stuff. So like SBs were really cool. Obviously, like Dunks has like have huge like blocking on the side, you know, like the big panels. This is the exact opposite. A lot of intricate details, like super technical shoe.
Yeah. And the big that 7, no, I'm thinking 8s. 8s have the big zoom on the bottom. 7s are the
Sevens have the full length 360.
That's
air.
yeah, okay. So I'm thinking
360
the right
air
way.
with the patent leather.
Yeah.
And the fly wire on the side.
Yes.
Yeah. I could run you through all the details. All the technical details because pretty much, I get the shoe. It's a Friday afternoon. So like that means like Shabbat's about to start. So like I can't really wear the shoe right away. Because I gotta wear like dress shoes. I gotta wear like that kind of stuff. So I was just like the shoes were just like in my mom's room, and I just remember like kind of just like drooling over them that night. And I was like looking at every little detail and like I think like that shoe is just like so like overbuilt in the perfect way. Like there's so many hidden details. Like especially like you look at that old LeBron logo, like it has like says like LBJ in it, and there's like a 23 and a crown.
Yeah.
Like all that just like baked into one emblem. Like it's just like super sick. Like not like the most like not like a logo you could really like see from 1,000 miles out, but like once you're looking close, you're like, whoa, there's a lot
like,
in it.
You're catching all the Easter eggs.
Yeah, all the exactly.
Yeah.
So like from that to just like the technical details, all the little hits that say like LeBron James and stuff. And like that shoe also is like the only one where like they got the graphic underneath the bottom with like him dunking. And like that's one thing I always kind of liked with LeBron is like, Jordan has like that there's a Jumpman logo, right? But like you don't really like see that in game. Whereas like LeBron, you could see a silhouette of him dunking and it's like you could tell like that's LeBron.
That's LeBron.
And because he's got that unique dunk, you know? So I was like, I thought that's kind of cool. I mean, obviously can't say anything bad about the Jumpman, you know, like that's like super iconic, you know, like, but I'm saying like
you're denouncing the Jumpman on this
podcast? No. I went on the podcast, shat on the Jumpman, and then I left, you know? And then I edited it out because, you know, so we're cool. No. All jokes. But yeah, they, so that's kind of like what I liked about LeBron. And then you also got to remember like a couple years later, I thought, or like a year later that year, really, I thought LeBron was going to the Knicks. You know, so
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So that was like,
to be honest, I thought the story you were about to tell was the Iman Shumperts.
Oh yeah, you saw that picture?
I saw that picture, man.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
But like that kind of just like shows like like how I was really just like mad young, kind of waiting online for that stuff.
That was how old were you in that one?
That was probably like a year or two later.
Yeah,
like probably like 2 years later. 2014.
If you're not familiar, when Iman Shumpert was on the Knicks, he dropped him and Packer dropped the Crazy 8 and
all orange
with like the blue, a little bit of blue, right on the there was like hints. Of blue
I think it was just all orange and white. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then I think it was the home colorway then, right? Like they were like painting that home colorway. And no, I think that's away. Away is white, right? Or is home white?
Away is blue.
Away is blue. So yeah, it was.
I think so, right?
I don't know. Forget it.
Yeah.
But yes, check it out.
I go to too many Knicks games to not know that.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember when that dropped. And
problem is now they got all like the city connector. They got the city edition jerseys and all that. So like they're wearing like it's not standardized.
Look, shout out Ronnie. He's doing his thing.
Yeah. But I just don't. Yeah. No, home. I'm like 90% sure.
It's definitely white.
Home's white. Yeah. Home's the white jerseys.
Yeah. All right. He dropped the Packer dropped that Crazy 8, and I remember I was like, I gotta go. I gotta figure out how to get there. Never figured out. Couldn't get the day off for the next day because I knew if I went out there, I was gonna have to figure out how to come back home. And it didn't happen for me.
Yeah.
But how was it for you? And do you still have them?
So how it was for me was like I went to the Knicks game earlier that day. It was Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And like I really, I wanted to go and wanted to meet Iman Shumpert. Had a small foot. It's kind of happened to me a couple times where like I waited online. And like it was like the line was long. It was a hefty line. And it was like cold outside. And I was there with my dad. My dad went with me, and like he was pretty fed up by the end. Like he was,
because he went to the game too.
Yeah, I think he went to the game too. Yeah, and he was real fed up by the end. He's like, "Yo, like," he's like, "Man, this isn't worth it. Like, it's just not. This is not worth it." He's like, "This is like you're worshiping the guy. This like goes against God because he brought religion into it. Because like we're very religious, right? He's like, it's like, yo, you're worshiping this guy, not God or whatever. Like you're waiting online way too long for this." And like I remember like talking to Packer after, and he spoke to my mom, and he was like, because like I guess when we got in it was late, like because it just took so long online, and like Iman Shumpert like said to Mike, he's like, "Yo, like is that kid all good?" Like he was like, "It's mad late. Like, do his parents know he's there? Like, you know he's here?" And Packer's like, "Yeah, no, I know the kid. Like, he's good." Like, but yeah, pretty much like they sold out. Oh, and the other thing that he said is that he told my mom that like, yeah, they would have like took me in through the back or something, you know, let me cut the line. But like he said, like if anything, like with that line, like if they like let anyone in, it would have just like caused a riot.
Yeah,
or something.
for sure.
Yeah, like
especially because like you had
no
it was
way.
it was a combine of like Knicks fans and sneaker people.
Exactly. Yeah,
and you're just like,
I mean, that's kind of the way to win though. A lot of time is like the cross section, like getting people that like aren't into shoes like excited about a shoe.
Yeah,
that's like so sick.
Yeah,
because like also it just brings people into shoe culture like as a whole. You know,
gotta
like,
get the through line. This is welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. But that was cool. So then like I get in and like they're like calling out all the sizes that are selling out, and like they sold out on my size so long beforehand. That ended up being that the pair I got was for like my brother's friend.
Damn.
Yeah, and a size 13. Yeah.
That's my size. That was you could have gave it to me.
Yeah. You look like a European 46. Yeah.
Am I? Sure.
Yeah, 46. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
46. Yeah.
This is how you're so into shoes. Like, you can tell off of one look.
Well, usually someone like I could tell what size they are just looking at their shoe or looking at their foot.
I get pretty close.
Yeah,
because that's what I had to do.
That's like my party trick. But then like after a while, people are like, all right, stop looking at my feet. Like stop staring at my feet. And I'm like, yeah, that's respectable. I shouldn't be out here at the party telling everyone what size shoe they are.
He's a 12. She's a 6.5. Like,
and you shouldn't know that because if you don't work at a shoe store, that's creepy. You know, like it is.
You got to start having like your business card out.
Yeah.
And then you just be like, no, just come Tiptop. I got you.
I got you. Yeah.
I got you. We got some Birks. We got it's a little 10% neighborhood.
See, it seems like you look like you're a wide foot. Yeah. And like I could hook it up. You know, like where else are you gonna get the wide shoes?
Yeah. You're like, look, I know the arches are pronated.
Yeah.
And from what I'm saying, you got a little wide gate on the outside there. So, come on down.
Yeah.
Then you really become Al Bundy.
Yeah. I mean, because then I could also sell them on like a footbed, like I could sell them on like some sort of like, insole. Like you could get them an orthotic.
Yeah.
And
then a $100 shoe becomes $350.
No, so we don't do the custom orthotics. I got a friend that does.
Yeah.
He would actually be a good guy to have on the show, but he's out in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we don't have a custom orthotic thing in our store, but like we'll sell like ones that like off the rack, like some really good ones.
Yeah.
So like some of them will be like up there in price, like around like $80 or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I could like figure, I could finesse them, like I could get you like, you probably need a pair of 990s if your foot's like, a little bit hard to fit. And then like really you need something to wear around the house,
How'd you get, like being so, like, I mean, I was going to answer my own question, but like, we know that you're literally in around sneakers ever since you were a kid. So like, when it comes to this stuff.
So back to that LeBron 7, that shoe, my first kicks, so that one I remember like I was looking at it like all night that night.
Oh, the story wasn't done?
No, story wasn't done.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is a good story, man. No, we're chilling. So I was like, wow, this is like I was looking at it and I'm like, this like and like you're probably like, what do you mean by this? I was like, no, like this is what I want to do. Like I kind of just saw the shoe and I was looking at all the details. I'm like, I gotta figure out like how I could possibly one day do this. Like how can I like make something like this? Because like this thing is so sick. I've never seen anything cooler. Like at the time I thought that was the coolest thing like at that point in my life that I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, I could like potentially one day work on something like this or like get involved with whatever this is to like, get other people like inspired by just product or just inspired by like cool design or anything like that. I was like, that's kind of what I want to do. And so like from then on out, like every day in class, like I kind of stopped paying attention, just started drawing shoes all day.
Damn.
And like I'd have like my friends like doodle them in. And like I even have like emails from like teachers to my parents being like, Adir's got to like draw less shoes in class and pay more attention. Like, which is like kind of crazy because like now it's like, yo, like, nah, I should have been drawing more shoes.
Yeah, you should have been drawing
even less attention. Like I was paying, I don't know why I was like ever paying any attention to calculus. Like I should have just only been drawing shoes.
That's crazy. I mean, you even just like fast forward into like you putting out, or helping create, the last two.
So those, I mean, just projects with Adidas. Those were fun. But we could talk about that, or we could. I don't know how you want to take it, or I could tell you why you need a pair of house shoes and why there's 5 types of shoes that every person needs to have. Otherwise they're gonna walk out of the store and they're just gonna have holes in their closet where they're just missing like a water shoe. Because what are they gonna do if they go on a hike?
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you want to hear more about this, you got to go.
You got to go to Tiptop, and we could tell you how messed up your whole shoe situation is, and we could do you right.
Yeah,
we can make sure you get everything you need.
No, but like, what was that experience of like now you've taken all of this?
So pretty much because
I'm gonna have to.
What kind of happened?
First, real quick, before we jump into the story, because I'm gonna have to have you on again.
Okay,
right? So I do want to. I know people.
You gotta get me with the whole crew.
We've talked about it. We should definitely do a live. Like,
you want to do it in the store?
In the store.
Okay, we can get everyone. Yeah.
We got handheld mics here too. We got speakers.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
We can do that. But so like does. Like was the first shoe the Gazelle and the or did you design anything
there was
that?
So pretty much West was kind of like out of the collab game for a while.
Since the not the Sauconys, right?
Since Sauconys. Yeah. I mean they did a bunch of Sauconys, but it was the last project were like Sauconys, and that kind of like left like a sort of like a taste in the mouth, I'd say, like whereas like they were a little bit hesitant. Like Lester didn't really want to do another project, and I kept like trying to convince him like, oh no, like it would be really cool if we do something. And eventually like I finally like got him like on board, and then like he was like, all right, let's do it. And then so we start approaching like certain brands and they're all just like, all right, yeah, what else do you have going? Like, you know, what's your latest? And they're like, oh yeah, we did something like 8 years ago. And they're like, yeah, no, goodbye. Like, yeah, no, that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's like, yeah, no, we don't believe in like that you all can sell enough shoes or any of that. So yeah, that kind of like that, you know, that proved to be really difficult. Really like proved to be a very difficult thing to do. Then like we saw like Phil from Unheard of, who you know, obviously you had him on here.
I had him on here.
Yeah.
Shout out Phil.
Shout out Phil. Good dude.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we had like I saw like we were in a meeting and like he was there at Adidas, and then like fast forward a few months, we see he's on Nice Kicks, he's doing his own Adidas shoe, and we're like, whoa, like we never even like to us like we're approaching like Saucony again, you know, we're like approaching like Clark's and like Red Wing and like smaller brands and all that. We're like, we never even thought like, and like not to like say anything bad about those brands. Like I love those brands that I just shouted out. Like I'd still love to do projects with them.
Yeah.
It's just like Adidas to me is like, that's like such a big like behemoth. Like you can't even like the other ones, like they felt approachable, you know, like Adidas didn't even feel approachable to us. And it was like, how'd that guy do that? So the first thing like I tell Esther is like, we got to find out how that guy did that. Like we got to call Brian, who's his rep, and like get on the phone with him and see what he did. So we talked to Brian, whatever. Brian's like, yeah, like what Phil did was this, that. You got to really talk to Tony and you got to like really stay on top of it and pitch to Tony. So then we call Tony because like I know Tony, and Tony's like, yeah, well, do you have an idea? Do you have a story? All that. And I'm like, yeah, we do. Which at the time was going to be totally like random. This would like, you know, City Bike Boys.
Yeah.
So it was going to be like a City Bike Boys shoe, right? And like, so we're pitching
super niche.
Yeah,
that's super regional.
Yeah, super regional would have been awesome, right?
Hell
but like whatever. So like that's starting to shape up. You know, we got the deck, we got all that together. Then we don't really hear from him. We don't hear from any of them, right? Then like 6 months later, you know, that was February of that year. Like this is probably like 2023, February 2023. That happens, and then we don't hear back until like August, where like they're like, yo, like, do y'all want to come out to Portland and like work on this and all that? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like this is sick. Like Lester tells me, he's like, yo, I almost didn't even tell you right away because like it's like it just sounded like didn't really sound real. Like, yeah, you know, like whatever. So we do it. The dates are set. I'm like, all right, awesome. This is perfect, except this is like also the second week of school. So yeah, I was like, oh, this is, I don't know, I'm gonna finesse this, but I'm gonna do it. Like obviously
you're back at NYU.
Yeah, I'm still in school at the time. Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, so let's let me figure out how I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I'm like, I'm totally in, right? First week of classes, I'm talking to my professor. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to miss the whole second week of classes. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm going to Portland for work. He's like, oh, like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to like the Adidas headquarters. He's like, what, are you designing shoes or something? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay.
Like he definitely felt the way after that.
He was like, yo, like, what are you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then I was like, all right. Like, he's like, yeah, cool. Like, just hit me when you're back. And like, yeah, like, don't worry about it. And like, I did it. And then like, whatever, the City Bike Boys thing kind of fell apart. And so it ended up switching to the Wizard story, which ended up being a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, the Wizards are fire.
It was just like, it was a fun moment. And it was fun to play into like some of that just like unconventional like approach to like presenting shoes and that kind of thing.
And I think the way that you worked with like, you know, what was it, Street Oracle?
Subway Oracle.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, all good.
And then like you played into like finding the shoe and like all of that, I think was helped enhance the impact that it was able to have, because I felt like it became like a cult hit after that.
Yeah, I think it was just like, that was a shoe that I knew was like a very off the wall kind of story, because it was based off of like an off the wall video we did a while ago. And I was like, all right, like if we're going to do this, we're really going to lean into it heavy. And we kind of just like, one of those videos like is sitting at like over 1 million plays, like 1.4 million plays. And I'm like, that's insane to me. Cause like, I remember like there was that the same weekend as like Columbia's came out?
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
think it
yeah.
was yeah. I
I
mean, it
think it
was
was
Jordan. It
right.
was Jordan 11s.
11s, yeah,
It
for
was for
sure.
sure the same weekend as 11s. I think it was Columbia's.
Yeah, could be Columbia's. Yeah,
And like I remember like our video got like more plays than theirs.
than
And
their camping video that they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, dang, like
Uh-huh.
we like and they got like obviously they got more followers than us by like a good amount.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so I was like, whoa,
No,
okay.
yeah. Everybody, because when you first posted that, and then it was a whole like teaser with the wizard, and then like finding the wizard. I felt like I saw that a lot more.
There was it was a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, and then I think like the best part about it was kind of like it just like played into like this versatility that we're kind of working with. Like we have a lot of different ways to be fun as a store, and ways to activate that. Like I think just like it's not the same formula every time.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like it's very important to us that we kind of get to change it up. Because I don't want to be like a one note band, like I don't want to be doing the same thing every single time. But yeah, I mean, I think that was super sick.
After that, I'm pretty sure Adidas was like, what's the next thing you got?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
so we already had like we already had the 85th shoes kind of like in the works, like before that dropped, which was cool because like they kind of believed in us a little bit. I was able to talk good enough, like
smooze it in there.
Yeah,
I was some of that B&H skills.
Yeah, I was able to finesse them, tell them about the 5 types of shoes they need in their closet.
Exactly.
And like why they need an orthotic in their shoes. And it got them to the point where it was like, all right, yeah, they believe that they actually needed the shoes that we sold them on, and thankfully that worked, because
I mean, it's interesting because like, so that was my first, like, you invited me to the party with Nina Sky. The first one, the wizard party you had, Styles P.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was I watched that from Andy's stories. But yeah, it's very crazy.
That one that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Funny anecdote about that one was like Styles P came in like because like we know Styles because he shops at the store, right? And like he came in and he was like wearing like Vomeros or something. And like, I don't know. I don't remember what he was wearing on foot, but he was like, he definitely told us like, he definitely comes to the stock room and starts telling us like, yo, I need a pair of Adidas. Y'all didn't tell me this was an Adidas event. He's like, I almost wore tech fleeces. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was like, oh, my bad. And Mike was just looking at me like, yo, what the you didn't tell him? Like, I was like, I thought I did, but I guess I didn't.
Second event you had Nina Sky.
Yeah, for the 85th shoes. That obviously much more serious project, but still had fun. Like storytelling is like a totally different mode on that one.
Yeah, big time.
And then
I mean, I don't know. Was there an event? There was an event.
There wasn't an event for the
lavers.
That we didn't. But what we did do far exceeded any of our expectations.
Yeah,
and I think what we did was way more than enough. And I think what we did was super dope.
Yeah,
and
that's the partnering with Zabars.
Yeah, we seated about like 90 pairs to the floor staff at Zabars.
Yeah.
Well, you're not from the Upper West Side.
Yeah, my bad.
But on the Upper West,
I'm a Bagel Works guy.
Yeah,
I'm a Bagel Works guy.
On the Upper West Side, Zabars is like a iconic Jewish. It's kind of supermarket, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like technically kosher, but some of the stuff is kosher. And like I've been going there since I was like a kid. I grew up like down the block from it, so it's like kind of just like something that we always wanted to work with, but it just never really made sense. And then we had this shoe coming out, and this shoe was kind of just like, by all intents and purposes, was just like us like proving that like the rod laver is like vastly underserved in the market.
Yeah, for sure.
And that we needed to like just get this shoe in colors that aren't white navy or white green. And we do need more white navy and white green. Like right now, we're sold out of white navy and white green.
Send it over.
Yeah, send us more white navy and white green. But we also need other colors like white orange or white red or white yellow or white blue. I mean, like white royal. Like, there's tons of other colors that could sell in that shoe. And this was like, hey, what if we just do a color? Like what if we just prove that this shoe is like actually needed? So then once we did it, like we're like, all right, how are we going to activate this thing? If we could, you know, it just so happens that we chose white orange, and it's like Zabar's is 8 blocks away. We're like, all right, what if we talk to them? And so we go through like, I knew like Lester like kind of knew one of the dudes there, one of the owners, and he had his phone number, but he lost it.
Oh man.
Because I'm like, yo, where's the phone number? He's like, let me check my contacts. And I'm like, it's like, oh, I lost it. And I'm like, all right, we'll figure this out. So I'm like, let's go into our customer data in like Tiptop and like just search the name Zabar. And like the whole family like came up, like everyone, like it was like Zabar after Zabar after Zabar. And so we're just sitting there on the computer, just like looking them up, like their names, like being like, all right, this one says so-and-so Zabar. We look them up. We're like, then we like find the one. We're like, all right, that's the one. This is the person. This is like Stanley's wife, and Lester knows Stanley. So like we could call her and be like, can we talk to Stanley? And she's like, yeah, like talk to this guy Scott that works there. And just like that made it happen. And like, yo, like I swear, like people in the neighborhood were like so like thrilled to like buy the shoes because of that. Like it was actually like way, like we expected the shoes to sell out like over time. And like we expect to still have them pretty much in stock now. But like, cause we wanted the shoes just to sit on our wall, you know, like we know we need the shoe. Like it's just gonna like sell over time and like we'll eventually sell out of them. But like that shoe probably sold at like double the speed that we thought it was gonna sell at.
I mean, it's a gorgeous looking shoe.
Yeah, right? That's the other thing is like I was wearing the Rod Laver a lot already, like before the shoe came out. And I'm like, yeah, this is it is like that happens to be my favorite Adidas shoe, is the Rod Laver. And that's probably because I work in comfort footwear. Yeah. It's because like that shoe is like
that's one of the 5 in the closet.
One of the 5 in my closet? I got more than 5 shoes.
No, I'm just saying, because you were saying you got to have the 5 different types of shoes.
Oh, one of the 5 types of shoes.
What are the 5 types that you have to have?
No, okay, so now you want to know what the 5 types of shoes are.
No, I don't, because we're towards the end of the podcast. We're going to have to save that for the live episode whenever we do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But now that we're towards the end of the podcast, it deals with a little visualization. Since you just already said your My First Kick Store, we're definitely going to tap into younger Adir. And you know, now you're behind your younger self as he's about to open that box of those LeBron Jumpman 7s.
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self as he opens that box?
If you want a job in finance, don't open this box.
Was that you were like, yo, that was before that shoe, you were like, I'm jumping into finance?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm like, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything in finance or
return these,
just don't open this box. This box is gonna change your whole life. So don't. I mean, I would have maybe warned myself. I mean, like I think it was the right decision, like for sure. Like I wouldn't really give this up for anything, but like I would never know like how big of like a moment me opening those shoes would be. You know.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, hearing your entire journey it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's a fun one. Yeah. And I'm like, and it's still going every day, you know, like I'm just trying to find new ways to kind of reach people in footwear just through, like, I kind of like the challenge more than the layup, you know? So you'll see some more of our projects come down the line and you'll be like, oh, like might be on the riskier side or something, but it's also just because, or like how we activate it might not be like how you typically see shoes marketed, but it's kind of just like, yeah, I'm doing that because I mean, it's more work for me. So, you know, like, yeah, like, I guess like maybe I'm addicted to the work, or maybe also like,
no, you said it. You like the challenge.
I like the challenge. I want to like see like what's another way we could do the shoe thing differently, you know? And
and in this world where, you know, in this industry where a lot of people are taking the same kind of routes, you are standing out. I have to give you your flowers on this.
Cool,
you are standing out.
Yeah.
You know, all of West, this has been standing out. And like, especially because, you know, like I was telling you when Andy introduced me to you, like I used to go to West when I was in high school. And so like, because when I was on the Upper East Side, like I'd had to take the 72 across.
Yeah.
And then it's right there. But like, yeah, like I remember.
You ever go to
Balance.
Pipe Dreams?
Yeah, I went to Pipe Dreams.
That's where I used to buy. Yeah, Pipe Dreams. When I said like I was into like SBs before, like that's where I'd
That
go.
was on 80th in York, I think
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
in York.
They sold me the Brute SBs.
Okay.
With a $60 markup.
Jeez.
Because they were like, they knew I wasn't a skater.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah.
I swear I thought that place was on the end of the world. Because I was a kid, you know, like York Street, like I don't know where this is.
And it's like nothing else
there.
Yeah,
and it's in the basement.
Yeah.
And like the place, like you don't really hear people talk about it anymore or anything. It's like it never really existed.
Yes.
You know, like
I think we're the last two people because I remember trying to bring this place up to other people and they were like, never heard of it, never heard of this skate store.
But I think they also like had I think they had one of the best SB accounts in the city, and B, I think it was just so slept on that they just had stock that like no one else still had.
Yeah.
And like remember like my brother was like, he comes home with like a fire pair of Dunks. I remember which pair he had that time. But he was like, yeah, like these are dope, but like I really wanted to get this other pair, but like I went to get rung up, and he's like, and the guy was like $200, and he's like, oh, but Dunks are always $100, and he's like, not these ones.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They marked me up.
But then like he should have spent $200 because they were like lobsters.
Oh,
they were like way back when, like it was like the first time.
He definitely should have.
Yeah,
he definitely should have. Let everybody know where to find you.
To find me.
Mm-hmm.
Just find me vibing out like in or around the store or like online.
We'll push the stores at the end.
Push the stores,
like the Instagrams and all that.
Tiptop Shoes NYC in West NYC on Instagram. Mine's Adir Landes on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a nickname instead of Adir Landes. Some of my friends would call me Adir Landes.
Fire.
It's like evil me.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
you know.
Love it.
But yeah,
that's it. And you know where to find me. I am Who Is Hassan on social medias. And then I'm gonna kick it to myself to give the Patreon shout outs. And if you want to be shouted out, follow what I said probably in the middle of this episode where I was like, you got to check out the patreon.com/myfirstkicks.
So you don't play the music like on the actual when you're recording. You add the music in after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you for tapping into this week's episode with Adir. I hope you enjoyed that episode. He was a wealth of knowledge. And, of course, we teased maybe we'll be doing a live episode. No, he said yes. So, yes, we'll eventually be doing a live episode with the entire staff from West NYC. You'll hear when that is going to be possible for anybody to join. I think that, we learned a lot from Adir on this episode. We learned where he gets his drive from, and it does give me hope into how like the younger generation gets into sneakers and, how much he shows, how much he loves sneakers. And I think it's just going to be a really good episode for anybody that wants to tap in because he's just a wealth of knowledge. And I can't stress that enough. I can't wait to get him back on or just do that full episode with the team at West NYC. And I just think it's just going to be fun. But, if you haven't yet, make sure you follow me. myfirstkickspod@gmail.com is a great way to reach out and send your My First Kick story. Or, follow me on IG, which I don't know why I jumped into the email, but whatever. IG, My First Kicks Pod. Who is Haas on all social medias, of course. But I do want to talk about, writing into My First Kicks, and so I can read it to anyone that I have on, or I can do a compiled episode on Patreon, because I would love to have more involvement, build this community out a little bit more, and make this as interactive as possible, because it's great to hear the story in front of me, but I also want to share other people's stories as well. I just think it's a really good, activity that I can bring into each episode. So really wanted to stress this because I stopped really pushing it at the end of episodes. So I just wanted to make sure I call this out in this episode, and I will be calling it out going forward because I would love to continue to build out the Patreon, have it a lot more fleshed out and encompassing. And of course, like I said earlier, as long as everyone that watches this is hitting it, that like, subscribe, leaving a review, joining the Patreon, sharing it with all your friends, letting people know that to check out this podcast, because it is more than just sneakers. It's really about the person that I'm sitting in front of and getting them to engage with, and also making everybody that listens want to engage with us too, because we're all just a big community. And if you're listening to this and are in Detroit for Black Footwear Forum, I will be walking around. I might be wearing my first kick shirt. I don't know. I don't know. But please stop me. Tell me, if you dig the podcast, don't dig the podcast. If you like to be a guest, want to be a guest, or you like a previous guest, please pull up on me. You can do that in the street too. Would love to hear more about people that listen to the podcast. And of course, we got to do Patreon shout outs every week. And if you want to join the Patreon and get a Patreon shout out every week, as long as you're a member between the $3 tier or the $5 tier, you can get a shout out. But of course, started off Adam Newstetter, then we got Ross Adams, we got Derek, Fresh Poetic, we got Jesse G, and we got Adam MSR Butler. I really appreciate y'all tapping in every month and hooking me up with, a little bit of support to keep pushing out the podcast. It goes a long way as we continue to try to grow. 238 episodes. It's crazy. I did not think starting with one episode that I would be 38 episodes deep. It's crazy. I don't know. There's no end in sight. I will tell you that. I'm going to keep going. I'm definitely going to keep going. And I'm going to keep making sure that I'm bringing some sort of podcast content around. Well, that helps the ecosystem and the atmosphere of podcasting around this, as I try to build out my first kicks and add more things and see what works and continue to be creative and having great guests on or having repeat guests on and building these conversations, because I do feel it is extremely important, especially in this community. And as we continuously go outside more and grow the community, I want this to be as immersive that you can have another conversation like, yo, you checked that episode out? And then, yo, what did you learn from that? Or, yo, I can't believe that was that story. That's the fun part about podcasting. But I really, really, really appreciate y'all for tapping into this week's episode. Adir actually edited this episode. So, we are... we I don't know how to explain it. I just think it was great that he was able to, put his input in and do his little his add his effects to it and stuff like that. I did my additions, of the what you normally see in the episode. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you didn't watch the episode, you might want to go to YouTube and watch the episode. But if you're listening to this, that's why you're wondering, I don't understand. There was sound effects and stuff. Yeah, you gotta watch the episode. It does enhance it a little bit more. He threw in pictures of stuff he was talking about. Shout out to Adir, man. This full 360 view of this episode and letting him edit it and having that great conversation with him. And he told some great stories. Please tap in on the YouTube. But now, if you want to check out 2 other episodes of this podcast, you can check out these 2 videos here. And we say each week, wear your kicks. Peace.